thank you for watching Virginia This Morning right here on CBS 6. We enjoy passing along great recipes for everybody to try at home. Now it's time to plug in that slow cooker and enjoy a delicious soup recipe. Take a look.
We're in for a delicious treat, a soup recipe from Shaynefully Delicious's own Shayne Rogers. Shayne, it's great to see you.
It is so great to be here and to see you.
I love soup pretty much in every incarnation that it comes into, but this recipe, Chicken Enchilada Soup, seems a little, fanciful and fun.
It's not fanciful at all. Well, it's not fancy. It's delicious, it's simple, and you're going to want to dive right into this big pot of soup. This recipe will work in the crock pot, it'll work in the Instant Pot, pressure cooker, it'll work in a pot on the stove. It's super simple, has all your favorite flavors. It's going to be delicious.
You have everything ready to go there. You were inspired because this is a typical go-to that you would almost like casseroles' cousin, chicken
Tuesday
enchiladas.
Totally Tuesday night. But I wanted a warm soup, and just because the weather's been kind of crazy, I thought it'd be fun to come home to this for dinner one night.
Well, I like it. You've got all the recipe or all the ingredients there for the recipe in front of you, including you're going to go with slow cooker version.
I'm going with slow cooker today, but it'll work in any, and I've given you all of the directions for all of the different options.
Awesome. Show us how it's done.
All right. I have started by browning some chicken, get some good color on there. And if you can, my slow cooker will go on top of the stove. Yours does not. Brown in the pan, but scrape all those good pan things down into the slow cooker so you don't lose all that. I'm going to turn mine on high for now, and I'm going to pop the chicken in here, and I'm going to make sure I get all those juices that came with it. But give it a good brown. Don't eat it just yet. It's still not cooked through, so you want to be careful about that.
That was the biggest thing I had to learn, is that browning doesn't mean cooking it through. You're just getting a nice sear on both sides and then setting it in the bowl, get the other ingredients together.
Absolutely. And that's important when you slow cook, because sometimes it doesn't get that good deep depth of flavor because you didn't brown it. So that's a good thing to do. We're going to use 4 ounces of, I'm actually using pickled jalapenos today because I couldn't find chilies at the store. And I looked and looked, and I decided that I was going to use what I had in my cupboard. And so we've got 4 ounces of jalapenos, probably a little more if I'm being honest. And a half a cup of chopped tomatoes. Once again, the measurements are loose on this. Just go ahead and use what you like. And I'm going to get the liquids in next because those will kind of get it going. So we've got 1 cup of enchilada sauce, which is kind of like all those favorite warm flavors. And we're going to echo that with the spice mixture I'm going to make next.
And with those pickled jalapenos that you put in, or chilies or whatever, you could adjust the heat or the spice level based on that.
Absolutely. Totally. The canned chilies are not super hot, but if you're making it for kids, you may want to kind of reel it in just a little bit, just to kind of, do. And, some adults don't love it either. I've got a little over a cup of tomato puree, which is going to be awesome. And that's a good cheap from the store. It's already kind of cooked down and got lots of great base flavors. And the last thing I'm going to put in right now is a cup of chicken stock. You could use water, you could use vegetable stock, you could use whatever you like. So go ahead and get that in. I'm going to put these out of the way. And I'm going to make the spice mixture. This mixture is great. You can make 3 times as much and have it ready to go for next time. And it's super simple. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of garlic, and a teaspoon of cumin, which is pretty much my favorite. Give that a little stir. But like I said, make double or triple or quadruple of this. Use it for fajitas, use it for taco night. It's a great thing to kind of have on hand. And it's kind of the same flavors as the enchilada sauce.
So those dried ones are going in, and you have the enchilada sauce, which will amplify all of it.
It'll all kind of meld together, and it'll be kind of like you'll get hit over here with the cumin, and then it'll, it's just a good zingy feeling in your mouth. give it a stir. It's already starting to heat up from the slow cooker because I got it on high. And if I were making this not on television, I would save the zucchini for later. I would put it in for the last half hour. This is going to cook for about 4 hours on high. I would put this in the last half hour. The zucchini is a really great way to hide vegetables for your kids because it doesn't have a strong flavor and it's going to soak up all those herbs and all that enchilada sauce. And they're not going to be like, oh, it's an onion. I would never eat an onion, you know. And so I think it's a good, and even some adults, quite frankly, would have to pause at some of those other vegetables. So if you're going to do this at home in the slow cooker, let this go for about 3.5 hours on high, and then stir in your zucchini.
And we have about less than a minute left.
We're good to go. It's done.
Awesome.
I'm going to put the cover on this, and it's done. And I have a finished bowl over here. Can you see? I know. I wish I brought you some. And we're going to, I'm going to get this out of the way. We're going to garnish this with some pepper jack cheese. Let that rain down over there. A little bit of cilantro, because it's Mexican night, right? And if you have it and you like it, a slice of avocado on the top. Nice and cool. It's ready to go for second breakfast.
Looks like perfection. And hey, I think the spicier you get it, the more cheese you can add too. So
right?
I guess that balances out the heat. Looks like a delicious recipe. Thanks, Shayne. And I know you shared this with us, so we'll share it with all our friends watching today. Bon appetit.
Thank you so much.
Wow. All right. You know, Shayne is just an amazing. She's so talented. All right. So I was watching this and I'm thinking, all right, trying to think of a favorite soup. So do you have a favorite soup, Jess?
It's hard to pick just one. I like soup. I could eat soup all the time.
Yeah, me too.
It depends on kind of where you are, whether it's like a full chowdery kind of day, whether you just want something brothy. I don't know. How about you?
Well, I'm a pretty simple guy, and Mom always made us tomato soup with her grilled cheese sandwiches. And then, of course, later on, Mom stopped cooking me soup. Mr. Ukrop cooked me some really good tomato soup for a long time. And so that I like that a lot. I love Brunswick stew. I love chili. All right, I love them all.
Love them all.
I'm with you.
Love them all.
If you put it in a bowl with some soup, I'm going to probably eat it.
We just had this conversation last night because Matt, my husband, you know Matt, was making dinner and he whipped it up quickly. I was out running in a quick errand. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. And when I came back and he said, would you like, some soup? I said, sure, I'll have a little bit. And he's like, I never ate this growing up, the grilled cheeses and the tomato soup. And you make it so great. Don't tell anybody it's Campbell's.
Yeah.
But I do I mix it with milk, the milk in the tomato soup.
Yeah.
It's the best. Thanks, Campbell's.
That was Mom's recipe too, by the way.
Always ready when you need it. P.S. So are we. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here. We're coming back with more Virginia this morning on this Leopard Print Thursday.